place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make three changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team news is in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big six of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come into the side. Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team news is in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big six of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come into the side. Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team news is in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big six of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come into the side. Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team news is in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big six of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come into the side. Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, a back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team news is in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big 6 of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come into the side. Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, a back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team news is in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big 6 of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come into the side. Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, a back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team news is in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big 6 of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come into the side. Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, a back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team news is in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big 6 of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come into the side. Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, a back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team uses in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big 6 of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come into the side. Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, a back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team uses in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big 6 of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come into the side. Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place in goal, but Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Conte and Timo Werner all drop out. So Chelsea line up Arrizabalaga in goal, a back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Zuma, then Alonso, Mount, Jorginho and James, Pulisic, Havertz and Ziyech. Brighton make 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Webster and Alexis McAllister come in for Jakub Moder, Adam Lallana and Neil Mopai. Brighton line up Sanchez in goal, Webster, Dunk and White, Burn, Bissouma, Gross and Veltman, Trossard, Welbeck and McAllister. There was a delay to kick off by 15 minutes because of crowd congestion outside the ground because of protests about the Super League, which may now be dead in the water. It kicks off at 8:15, Chelsea versus Brighton. The team uses in from Stamford Bridge for the Premier League clash between Chelsea and Brighton this evening, but the big news is away from the pitch, where both Chelsea and Manchester City are reportedly attempting to withdraw from the European Super League, and that could have serious ramifications for not just the big 6 of English football, but also the 12 that were looking to break away. Well, on the pitch, Chelsea make 5 changes to the side that beat Man City to reach the FA Cup final at the weekend. Marcus Alonso, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz all come in. Well, a very good evening and a warm welcome along to Off Tube studio-based commentary on this Premier League match at Stamford Bridge. It's been a seismic evening of events off the field around the proposed European Super League. Chelsea have reportedly drawn up plans to pull out. Manchester City have made their intentions known. They no longer want to be part of it, and we're just hearing there are resignations around boardrooms around Europe, really. Ed Woodward, the latest to go from Manchester United. Some pressure on those in charge of the Italian and Spanish clubs as well, as we are underway at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea in their all-blue home colours with the white socks, kicking in the first half from right to left and moving the ball pretty smartly across the back line now, with Marcus Alonso knocking it back to Kurt Zuma, and then Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place after a pretty fine display in victory over Manchester City at the weekend in the Cup. And it's played back now to Rudiger, who knocks it wide. And then played up towards Hakim Ziyech, who of course scored the goal in the Cup semi-final. Brighton steal it back though. They have a chance to progress it on the edge of the box. Won back though in midfield by Chelsea. And they're getting themselves into a bit of a tangle here, as Brighton in the yellow shirts, white shorts, yellow socks, put across into the penalty area. That's too close to Kepa and the 6-yard box, and the Spaniard makes an easy claim there and looks to set Chelsea on their way. But yes, a strange backdrop to the game tonight. 15-minute delay to kick off because of the scenes outside the ground. Big protests. Over 1,000 Chelsea fans gathered, even though they wouldn't be admitted into the game, of course. But they gathered. They made their feelings known. Actually delayed the progress of both team coaches from their respective hotels. And it actually saw Petr Cech at one stage make an impassioned plea for the fans to move out of the way so the players could get to the stadium. Dan Burn, one of the 3 Brighton changes tonight from their last game. And it looks like they're playing a back 3 tonight, but it's actually 5 central defenders in the Brighton lineup, with Ben White on one side of the defence as a sort of wing back and Dan Burn on the other. And then the 3 other centre backs there include Dunk and Webster. And of course Veltman. I think Veltman probably will be the right wing back, with White, Dunk and Webster, and then Burn the left wing back. Gross and Bissouma in midfield, Welbeck up front, McAllister and Trossard to supply the bullets, but they'll have to get the ball back off Chelsea first. Chelsea knock it downfield, and then Robert Sanchez, the Brighton keeper, moves it square. And Veltman keeps the ball in, but only to the benefit of Chelsea, as his attempted cross goes out for a goal kick. So Graham Potter watches on as the ball is moved forward by Chelsea now into the Brighton half. And bringing it out of defence here for Chelsea is Zuma once more. Rudiger dumps the pass off into midfield for Mason Mount. Back to the German. And then once more Kurt Zuma, who's in between Rudiger and Christensen tonight. Thiago Silva has been given a break. He's had a few injury problems recently. Well, certainly maybe welcoming the break here tonight, as Alonso knocks it down the line to Pulisic, who slips as he tries to play that ball and falls in a heap. And that's going to be a Brighton throw, which has been taken already by Ben White. And the ball is flicked on. This is Trossard now trying to get past Alonso, and then Rudiger knocks it back into midfield. No foul, says the referee, as Chelsea recover possession. They played less than 5 minutes, and there's been no shots on goal really of any note in this match. In fact, none at all, as Chelsea work it from the rear, playing the ball forward up towards Ziyech, who tries to hold it up. He's got big pressure on him from I think that was Dunk, and then Chelsea play the ball back to Kepa. He clears it long up towards the halfway line, and again trying to flick it on there for Chelsea was I think that was Kai Havertz. And now Brighton play it down the line, but losing it was Veltman. However, the ball came off Mason Mount for what will be a Brighton throw. Veltman, formerly of Ajax, will take it. It goes across the back line over to the other side for Dan Burn, and then Dunk. Back out towards Dan Burn. It's flicked on. Danny Welbeck didn't anticipate the direction of it, and it's back to Chelsea's possession again now. Now Zuma to Jorginho. Back to goal. He plays it back to Kurt Zuma and Rudiger. Out wide to Alonso, across the halfway line, looking for the run here of Pulisic. Again, he slips as he tries to gather possession under a tight marking job from Ben White. And once more, Brighton pick up the pieces here with Bissouma playing it back. And Dunk finding Burn down the line. He gets it back here, does the Brighton centre back. Bit of a turnover here. Pulisic trying to get past Bissouma, but coming back to help out there. His defenders was Pascal Gross. He has it on the halfway line now for Brighton, and allowing McAllister to take over. Gross again, playing it. Sorry, yes, Gross playing it back to his goalkeeper. Sanchez on the edge of the penalty area. Brighton happy just to play the ball around at the moment without really doing much damage in the Chelsea half. Just feeling the way into the game. Gross plays a nice ball into midfield, and he's got some time here, Trossard, to work it wide to Dan Burn. Could be a cross coming in here from that left-hand side. It's blocked at source and goes out for a throw-in as Reece James got the block in. 8 minutes gone, Chelsea 0, Brighton 0 in the Premier League. Of course, across the backdrop of the seismic crumbling, really, of the European Super League proposals, with that now looking less and less likely to go ahead. Almost dead in the water, really, isn't it, as a concept for the time being. Thrown in by Byrne, miscontrolled by Trossard, hooked away by Chelsea, and it goes out for another throw-in close to the corner flag for Dan Byrne to take once more. And the giant defender wants to throw this one in. Again, Trossard could be the target. He's played back, actually, and headed forward by Webster. Chelsea player goes down after a challenge by Trossard, and the referee's given the Blues a free kick. Referee tonight, by the way, is Stuart Atwell, who's experienced Premier League referee now, but not thought of as one of the top dogs, if you like, in the refereeing circles. And it's going to be left to Kepa to take this free kick then from out wide on the right-hand side of his penalty area. He ushers his teammates to go forward here as he looks down the pitch looking for Kai Havertz, who's beaten in the air by Dunk. Second ball headed down by Chelsea and then played forward looking for the ball over the top here. Kai Havertz might be in here, but quickly off his line. Sanchez comes, then drops it. He has some help there from Ben White, and the ball is cleared down the line by Veltman, but again it comes back to Chelsea, and Jorginho, now Mount, playing it back to Zuma. And then Brighton try to press. Jorginho and Zuma just playing the ball between each other, and then it goes back to Christensen. Out wide to the right for James, who's inside his own half, slipping the ball back to Jorginho. It's good work this from Chelsea. They've moved the ball about quite well to avoid the Brighton press. Forward it goes from Rudiger up towards Pulisic. Tight turn from him in traffic. He knocks it back to the German. Inside to Jorginho, who gets on a half turn away from McAllister and plays it back to Zuma. He can face forward and pings the ball over the top, looking for the run of Pulisic, as Alonso it was actually, but he pulled up as that pass had far too much on it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And Havertz, just for a brief moment, looked like he was favourite to get that ball, but again, good defending from Ben White to get behind his goalkeeper when he dropped it, having won the foot race to beat Havertz to the ball. That was moments ago. Back live now with Brighton on the attack, but Reece James is under pressure from Dan Burn. He's backing into him to try and shield the ball and plays it back safely to Zuma, and now Rudiger. Rudiger advances to the halfway line, still going here as he bounces off the challenge and plays it to Alonso. Alonso goes back to the German, who plays it square into midfield. He's got Jorginho showing, and he goes back to Zuma. Lots of backwards passing from Chelsea in the early stages of this game. Played 11 minutes now and they haven't had a shot yet. Rudiger back to Alonso on this left touchline. He's in for Chilwell today, and it's a loose pass from the Spaniard that goes straight out for a Brighton throw. Veltman quickly onto the multi-ball to try and get it going again, but he's got no support from his teammates. Welbeck had made a forward run. He goes inside to Bissouma and gets it back now. Veltman backheels it to Bissouma. He plays a strange ball back that goes straight to Kai Havertz, and now Chelsea on the advance. We've got Ziyech up front with Havertz. Ziyech gets it now out wide to the right-hand side on his left foot. Deep ball to the back post. Alonso is arriving. He couldn't reach it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Nice idea though from Hakim Ziyech, outside the boot cross actually with his... in fact, no, it was with his left foot he crossed it, and he chopped back onto his left foot there when perhaps he might have been better going with the right, but obviously favours the left, and his ball to the back post curled away from Alonso, whereas if he'd gone with his right foot he might have been curling back towards the advancing left back. So goalless at the moment. A win for Chelsea tonight would put them back into the top 3 actually. Would leapfrog both West Ham and Leicester and go behind the 2 Manchester clubs in the tables. A win for Brighton tonight would pull them what would be now 10 points clear of Fulham in the last position of safety, and then actually go above Newcastle and Southampton too. As the ball is brought down by Brighton in midfield, and now Welbeck. I think the referee's given a free kick there for a foul by a Chelsea player on possibly McAllister, who might be interested in taking the free kick himself. No, he's leaving it. And Brighton sending the big guns up from the back. They've got lots of aerial prowess tonight with all those centre-backs on the pitch. Gross is going to take the free kick from over on the left-hand side, and it'll be a right-footed in-swinging ball towards the penalty area. Chelsea will try and hold the line on the edge of the box. In fact, they've actually gone with a line about 5 yards outside the box, and Brighton have played a strange free kick which has given them, well, no chance of getting a header in. It was all along the ground. Welbeck chased it but couldn't prevent Chelsea clearing, and it's deflected off for a Chelsea throw as well. So that was a very strange and wasted free kick opportunity there for Brighton, who, rather like Chelsea, haven't tested the goalkeeper as yet. 14 minutes gone, and Chelsea 0, Brighton 0 still the score, as Brighton have it and play it up towards the front players, but it's cleared away nicely by Chelsea. Good turn by Havertz as he motors into Brighton territory, evades one challenge, works it wide to Ziyech. He's only got one player up there in front of him, which was Mount, and Chelsea go back now to Zuma, and Brighton have got 10 of the 11 shirts behind the ball now. In fact, all 11 behind the ball now, as Mount tries to ride the challenge of Gross, but the German wins that little battle. Brighton play it back to Dunk, and now Webster, left-hand side of the 3 central defenders. Well, he mistimes his clearance, but he gets lucky there as the ball bounces off falling Ziyech and earns Brighton a lucky throw. Thomas Tuchel watching on. Of course, his stock really has risen in the last few weeks. Some of the results they've been getting, the big win over Manchester City at the weekend, getting them to a cup final, I'm sure is a major feather in his cap. Former Paris Saint-Germain boss, who was given the boot earlier this season by the Parisians and replaced by Maurizio Pochettino. Ball is headed out by Alonso now for a Brighton throw. White plays it down the line. Attempted flick on by Trossard doesn't come off. Gross goes in to challenge Jorginho, plays it back now to Zuma, and then all the way back to Christensen. Rudiger on his right foot knocks it back to Kurt Zuma. Into midfield it goes for Havertz. He lays it off to Christensen, wide to Reece James, who hasn't got forward at all really in this match so far. Now back across to Zuma, and then Jorginho. Brighton just sitting off, not pressing at the moment, withdrawing into their own half as it's played through by Zuma. It's a nice ball flicked on by Ziyech, then Mount falls as he tries to gather it. Brighton come away with the ball. Bissouma, square ball back to McAllister, and then the Argentinian backheels it to Webster. Makes a bit of an angle for him, but then given away by Webster. Chelsea play it forward. Pulisic gets a shot in on the turn, and it goes well wide. Pulisic's claiming he was being grabbed there, or he was being held. And the referee had a good view and didn't give any free kick. It would have been a penalty actually, because Pulisic, by the time he had the shot, was inside the penalty area. I think the original contact was right on the edge. The shot when it came in was from well inside, and he screwed it wide of target. Presentable chance though. He failed to work Robert Sanchez. Brighton sticking to the principles, playing out from the back, as most teams do in the Premier League, knocking it forward up towards Trossard. And he gets the deflection off Alonso, which earns Brighton a throw, which he thinks about taking himself here, the Belgian. In fact, it might be Veltman who's going to take it rather than Trossard. It is Veltman who wipes the ball down and throws it in to Trossard. He's lost it, but then no, it's going to be a Chelsea throw. So goalless after 17.5 minutes of this Premier League match, and it's been low on action so far. All the drama really is taking place off the pitch with what's going on around Europe with the breakup of the Super League proposals. Only 48 hours since they were leaked to the media, and an announcement was made actually. They were leaked to the media, and then the announcement came shortly later that night. The clubs made themselves targets really, and the strength of public opinion I think has swayed one or two of those in the corridors of power, and Chelsea and Manchester City were two of the first clubs to break ranks and declare that they were no longer interested in being part of it. Chelsea come down the right with Jorginho getting it back now to Mount, very central. Over to the left they come with Rudiger into the channel for Pulisic. He holds it up and works it back into the middle for Mount. 25 yards out. Jorginho chipped over the right hand side looking for Reece James, but he's not going to win that battle with Dan Burn, who wins the easy header. Well, easy for him anyway because he's 6'6" plus. And Reece James just accepts the throw in and takes it quickly. Gives it back to a teammate, and a poor cross comes in from I think Christensen, who's probably not best placed. In fact, it was Jorginho who played the cross. Poor one, and it goes out for a Brighton throw. Veltman takes it and then gets the return ball and smacks it clear down the line. It might stay in this, although good blocking off there from Rudiger prevents Trossard from getting it, and he takes the throw quickly, finding Zuma. The Frenchman chips the ball into the channel here, looking for Kai Havertz. It's headed away by Dunk, and out for a Chelsea throw. It's been very much a game of stop-start game, a game of sort of territory really, with not much creative play in the middle of the park so far. Zuma faces up a wall of Brighton players, gets the ball into Havertz, but his loose control gives it straight away back to Dunk. Forward he goes from Webster. Poor ball, could be a chance here for Chelsea, but moving across Ben White, and then he gives it away, and as a shot comes in, finally Havertz tests the goalkeeper. Sanchez equal to it, pushed it away. Great chance. Ben White with the second mistake, as Brighton's defence just completely sort of imploded there, but Chelsea weren't able to take the chance when it came to Kai Havertz. It was a snapshot that was straight at Robert Sanchez, and he made a simple save in the end, but you won't get a better chance than that really, Kai Havertz, and he has to do better. Now another shot comes in from range, straight at Sanchez this time, and he makes an easy catch. It came from Kurt Zouma. Brighton sloppy in defence moments ago, allowing that shot from Kai Havertz, gifting him the opportunity to shoot really when Ben White didn't cover for the mistake earlier by Webster. Sanchez was on hand though to make the save. Chelsea have it again now. And Zuma brings it out from the back, plays it across to Rudiger. Then back to Mason Mount, who's been in great form recently. Rudiger, singled out for praise by his coach recently as being a real leader of men in the dressing room. Now he goes back to Christensen. And Zuma. Rudiger has 10 yards of space, but no real chance to pass it through the Brighton defence. Now they look for Jorginho to do that. Another lifted ball over the top, looking for James on the right, headed away by Burn, picked up by Havertz. Goes back to Jorginho. Cross comes in from James, and it's swept up by Webster at the near post. Brighton make a meal of clearing it though, and Danny Welbeck's loose touch almost gives Chelsea another chance, but then Trossard comes away with the ball. Trossard skips past one challenge, goes past another, and the Belgian now tries to hold it up and bring another player into action. Goes back to Burn, and then they go all the way back to Webster and Dunk, and goalkeeper Sanchez, who's made 2 saves now in the opening 22 minutes of this contest. Here's Dan Burn again, knocking it back to Dunk. Bissouma takes it at the base of the midfield. Gross, McAllister and Trossard all ahead of him, but he goes square to White and he knocks it back to Sanchez. Now Dunk. Ball laid back by McAllister to Webster, and then Dunk again. Brighton really haven't had much possession in the Chelsea half. All they've been able to do is pass the ball around in defence. That's a nice turn from Gross, though, to get away from, I think, Mason Mount. He plays it a little bit loose inside to Bissouma, but he stretches and wins the 50-50 and knocks it away from Jorginho. The attack is on here for Brighton for the first time. McAllister trying to pull the strings on the edge of the box, looking for the shot. Actually, McAllister is deflected away. He won't reach another yellow shirt, though, and Alonso can pick up possession for Chelsea. Midway through the first half at Stamford Bridge, where it's still Chelsea 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0, but the Blues have had two decent opportunities so far. Well, one really good chance actually after a couple of defensive errors. Webster's first blunder, White with the second one, presenting the chance to Kai Havertz, but from about 10 yards out he hit it straight at Robert Sanchez, who poured it away to safety. Sanchez called into action a couple of moments later from a long-range effort from Kurt Zouma, which had plenty of power but no direction really to beat the goalkeeper, who stood very central and made it easy with a catch. It remains Chelsea 0, Brighton Hove Albion 0. That's where we are with about 24 minutes gone. Brighton have defended by and large quite well, although they've got a lot of defenders out there, so they ought to really. 5 centre-backs on the pitch actually. Brighton find one of those centre-backs now in Ben White, who tries to charge past Pulisic, and as he did so he dragged him back and concedes a free kick. Which Chelsea take and play square back to Jorginho. Now here we've got Christensen out wide to James, back to Jorginho. Now Rudiger gets the ball from Zouma, plays it back to the central defender. Under pressure there briefly from Gross. He'll probably go back to his keeper and does so. Kepa has not had to make a save as yet. Chips it back into midfield. It's aimed towards Ziyech, but he's easily beaten there by Webster's towering header. Chelsea pick up the scraps though through Jorginho. Reece James pass intercepted there by Bissouma, who gets it back again from Gross. Tries to get them going again. Here's the German Gross advancing into Chelsea territory. He's got the obvious option of Veltman out wide to the right hand side. Veltman keeps the ball and offers back inside to Dunk. And he goes back to his goalkeeper. So there's not much ambition about Brighton at the moment. They're playing a lot of backwards passes themselves. And then Brighton give it away to Chelsea, who can roll it out through Kepa to Zouma and Jorginho. Jorginho again. Back to Christensen. And the Dane just plays it lazily to Zouma. There's no real tempo about either team's passing at the moment. It's very slow and methodical and not really getting much penetration either end of the pitch. And they go all the way back again to Kepa. It's been a fairly dull 26 minutes really in this game now, as it's headed up in the air by Brighton. Veltman, and he's asking the referee and linesman for the next decision. He gets it, throw in, taken by Joel Veltman, back to Ben White, and he just plays it back to his goalkeeper. Sanchez pings the ball out towards the left-hand side, but he's not going to find Dan Burn with that, and he goes straight out for a throw-in, and this game's getting worse. Chelsea, well, you can expect some kind of hangover from the FA Cup semi-final win, and they've got a big game coming up as well, of course, in the Champions League next week, isn't it? It's, I think it might even be in 7 days' time, so lots of big games coming up for the Blues. Brighton, well, their season is tailing off a little bit. They were in relegation trouble around about Christmas time, weren't they, or just before Christmas time? But they've pulled away from that. Just wonder whether Fulham's recent problems maybe just have allowed one or two teams at the bottom there to take the foot off the gas. Burnley and Brighton, I'm thinking of mainly. Newcastle have been fighting for their lives and got some good results recently. Chelsea win it back again through Mount. Now to Rudiger. Dropped into Pulisic's feet, back to Mason Mount. No Tammy Abraham in the Chelsea squad again tonight. He looks like his face doesn't fit anymore at Stamford Bridge under Thomas Tuchel. That could be one to watch in the summer. I'd expect some bids to be coming in for him. Proven goal scorer at this level. As Pulisic knocks it back into midfield. Zuma plays it to Jorginho, and they work it around Welbeck by getting it to Christensen's feet. No forward passing lane for him, though. Brighton are blocking off all the opportunities for that. Attempted switch out towards Alonso is a good one. Cushion back towards Pulisic. White sticking tight to him. Alonso can't get past Veltman, but it will be a Chelsea throw. 28 minutes gone. Chelsea on the attack. Mount on the edge of the penalty area finds Pulisic, but he goes backwards again to Zuma. Zuma's had one of the two shots on target for Chelsea so far. And then Rudiger goes with a cross towards the far post. Dan Burn's always going to win that battle with Reece James. I think he's in the team today for that battle specifically, knowing how good James is. Powerfully good going forward, and Dan Burn's been put in the team to try and match him. And he certainly has been a match for him so far. Chelsea have it again, though, with Rudiger. Up towards Pulisic, who goes down. Was there a clip there from Dunk? Referee said no free kick. Rudiger can't get the cross in. Alonso might hear from the left-hand side. He tries to... Oh, he's offside. Or was there a foul just prior to that? Anyway, the whistle's gone. I think it's gone against Rudiger, and it's going to be a Brighton free kick. Rudiger was just impeding Veltman, which the referee had spotted. Although the German protested his case. Stuart Atwell wasn't going to change his mind then. He'd blown the whistle anyway, so he couldn't really. As Brighton coming from the back again with Ben White. Well, Ben White's taking a few risks tonight. He's lost that one to Mason Mount. Mount works it square on the edge of the penalty area. Ziyech tried to poke it through to Havertz, but it was quickly closed, that gap, and Brighton knock it away. But no chance for Danny Welbeck there, up against three Chelsea defenders. He just gave up the ghost, and Chelsea have it again inside their own half with Rudiger. Ben White's made a couple of poor errors tonight, though. One's led to a Havertz shot. The other one almost led to another chance there, with Ziyech trying to play it through to Havertz after his error. Christensen comes into midfield, and then Pulisic is fouled by White, who's been quite robust in his action tonight. Pulisic gets back to his feet. No yellow card coming for the England under-21 defender there, White. And Pulisic had turned him, and White was leaning on him to try and prevent him from completing that turn, that arc. Just outside the centre circle, referee had a good view. Chelsea play it back to Zuma, though. Now Jorginho, pressurised by Gross and Welbeck, works himself out of it, the Italian. Jorginho looks forward again, and then plays it square to Zuma. Jorginho, once of Napoli, of course, knocks it back to Zuma. Zuma, nice turn to get away from, I think it was McAllister who was trying to hunt him down. He's got Rudiger offering down the left. Instead it goes towards Pulisic, but he's crowded out by White, who's stuck to him like glue so far. Now Pulisic again. White trying to make another challenge on him. He has to play it backwards there. I mean, that's working really for Brighton. They've not allowed Pulisic to face up any of their defenders, really. They've always had him facing the other way. Alonso now has come into central areas, and he's linked up the play. It goes wide right to James. James is crossed too close to Sanchez, who makes an easy claim at the near post. And it remains Chelsea 0, Brighton 0 with 31.5 minutes gone. Only two shots of any note so far, the best of them from Havertz, or the best chance fell to Havertz, but he couldn't put it away. Sanchez has made two saves and not really looked in too much trouble. Thomas Tuchel is now stood up, and he's I think in deep thought about how to change this. Brighton are proving a very tough nut to crack at the back. They've got lots of bodies back there. They're quickly covering the gaps in midfield as well, and playing with just one striker who often withdraws to help out. So it's been very tough for Chelsea to break them down. Now Rudiger takes it on his chest and advances into Brighton territory. He's got the obvious pass out towards Alonso on the left. Instead he cuts back onto his right foot, finds Pulisic. Again, he can't get the full turn in there, only on the half turn. It goes back now to Jorginho. 30 yards out, central now Mount. Can he thread something through? No, he can't. The pass was telegraphed towards Pulisic, and it's won back by Trossard. But then Chelsea try and win it back. Coming away with the ball, though, is Bissouma. He tries to work a 1-2, but he's sold short there and goes into a challenge with Rudiger. Both players go down. The referee is going to give the free kick Chelsea's way, and he might have a yellow card for Yves Bissouma here. He's certainly going to have a word with the Brighton man for the nature of the challenge, which perhaps deems reckless, and if he does, it's going to be a yellow card for Yves Bissouma. Referee at the moment hasn't got the yellow card out, but he stood over the prone Brighton player. To be honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with that challenge. Both players were stood up, and it was only a one-footed challenge by Bissouma, although it looked as though he might have been going in with two. He actually only went in with one, so I think it is just going to be a free kick and nothing else. Bissouma is going to escape any further censure. And the referee will allow Chelsea to take their free kick now. So it's a free kick about, well, it's only about 10 yards off the halfway line. Chelsea will just play it square to Christensen. That's a nice ball to Ziyech, who's managing to get between wing back and centre back, and then his attempted back heel to Reece James doesn't come off. It looked awful, that, and Brighton win it back here. Bissouma, always been almost hacked down on the edge of his own penalty area there. He does get brought down now, and he gets up and he wants the referee to issue a yellow card to a Chelsea player, and the referee will issue a yellow card to Jorginho. First yellow card of the match there goes to the Chelsea skipper. It comes 10 minutes before half-time. It's still Chelsea 0, Brighton 0. Jorginho, yeah, he went off his feet there with a challenge that's almost brought down Bissouma. Then he got brought down by a second challenge, but the referee had eyes for the first and made that yellow card decision on the first foul. Brighton play it forward again. Burn knocks it back to Webster. All this down the Brighton left. Webster now surges forward. Tries to poke it towards Welbeck. Back from McAllister to Gross. Here's a chance for White. And then Gross again. Forward it goes. Looking for a Welbeck. Is he going to go round the back there? Was he being dragged down by Zouma? The referee says yes. It's going to be another yellow card here, I think, to Kurt Zouma. He's got the card out. And Zouma had hands on Welbeck as he turned him. And it is a yellow card and a free kick to Brighton about 25 yards out. It was a covering defender, so it would never going to be a red card for Kurt Zouma, but it was a silly foul. He had his arm round his waist, and he quickly withdrew his hands, which is a definite sign of guilt in most referees' book. And Kurt Zouma is the second name entered into Stuart Atwell's notepad, just following his captain, Jorginho, of moments ago. So 10 minutes to half-time. Brighton attacking free kick now. Welbeck will stay in the penalty area. It'll be joined by 5 other yellow shirts. This looks like it's going to be Pascal Gross's responsibility then, the German. Right-footed delivery coming up here. There's a two-man Chelsea wall, but this isn't going to be a shooting chance. I don't think he's looking only at the cross here. Pascal Gross, and how good is his delivery? Steps up here, chips it in towards the far post, and it's headed away by Zouma. And a shot comes in on the volley from Bissouma, which goes right into the ground. Headed away by Chelsea again. It might drop here to Trossard, who gets the strike away straight at the goalkeeper, though, from a tight angle. An easy save for Kepa. Well, that's Brighton's best moment so far. The eventual shot from Trossard following the mayhem they created from the free kick. But still, Chelsea stand firm and it remains goalless going into the final 9 minutes of the first half. Ziyech goes down. Referee says nothing wrong with that challenge. Chipped forward by Brighton up towards Welbeck, who chests it down. Might get the return in here. Danny Welbeck trying to wriggle his way past Zouma, but the Frenchman is too strong. And it allows Kepa just to pick the ball up there and rolls it out towards Jorginho. His pass finds Ziyech, laid off towards Pulisic, all inside the Chelsea half. Brighton swarm around them in their yellow shirts, white shorts. Chelsea working out towards Ziyech on that right-hand side, all on his left foot coming infield, but runs straight into Bissouma, who wins the ball back and knocks it square, but the pass was short, and it's, again, well won back by Chelsea's Havertz, who was covering for Ziyech there. Now the Blues bring it forward with Rudiger. He's got the obvious option again out towards Alonso on the wide left. The Spaniard was offside though when he received it. That was poor from him, and it's going to be a Brighton free kick. Well, I don't think he was actually. I think that's a poor decision actually on the far side from the referee's assistant. I don't think Alonso was offside, so just to perhaps make sure that he doesn't perhaps get as much blame as he might get in that situation. Marcos Alonso. Ball cleared by Sanchez from the free kick, headed away by Rudiger. Brighton have actually had the same number of attempts as Chelsea now, but only one on target to Chelsea's 2. Goes out for a throw into the Seagulls on this right, with Veltman to take it right in front of Thomas Tuchel. He arches his back here, the Dutchman throws it in, but it goes straight through to Zuma. Now Christensen's got time to run the ball out of defence. Brighton's players just file across to stop that potential avenue. They go back to Zuma, and then Mount. Jorginho takes a touch, moves backwards, plays it to Christensen. Bissouma goes to engage him. It's worked wide to James. Nice turn from Jorginho again, and a forward pass this time towards Havertz. Havertz operating on the in the pockets, works it wide to the Moroccan Ziyech, and he goes down and wins a free kick. Foul by Brighton on Hakim Ziyech, who's been in good form recently for them when he's been fit. So free kick over on the right hand side. Looks like Ziyech stayed over there to take it and will curl in a left footed ball to that Brighton penalty area. Mount's also an option there, going across with his right foot, but I think the decision's been made here that it's going to be Ziyech to take it. 4 fouls apiece as well. The stats very level on this game. Well, maybe Ziyech leaves it to Mason Mount, and it is Mount who crosses it in right-footed, headed away at the near post by Bissouma, and then knocked away by James, flicked on by Alonso, but it's going to be easy for Sanchez to come out and claim that one. And again, Chelsea looking a little bit powder puff in their attempt to try and force some pressure on Brighton at the moment. A win would take them third. Like I say, a draw would take them fourth. They go above West Ham in the table on goal difference. But I don't think they're thinking draw at the moment, Chelsea. They're thinking win. Of course, Liverpool just below them as well. Tottenham maybe a little bit further adrift of the top 4 race, and with what's gone on there with the sacking of Jose Mourinho this week, then you think perhaps tough now for Tottenham to make that top 4. So it really is, I think, probably 4 teams for 2 places, really, if you count that the 2 Manchester clubs are a little bit too far away now. So Leicester, West Ham, Chelsea and Liverpool fighting out for 2 Champions League places for next season. Here's Ziyech as it goes to Mount. Just plays it down the line to the right. It's a poor ball though from Reece James, which gives Brighton a chance now. And Bissouma, who's had a good game so far, brings it forward. Plays it safely out wide right to Veltman. Veltman down the line. Trossard tries to play it back in field. Gross it was actually. Gross has won a couple of challenges tonight, but it falls to Mount. That's a better ball from him. Layoff from Havertz to Ziyech. Bit of momentum to this Chelsea attack now. Back to Havertz outside the penalty area. Is he going to have a pop? No, he goes wide to James inside the penalty area. James drops it back here to Mount. Mount, good little bit of skill there to go back towards James, but the Brighton defence managed to knock it back to Sanchez, and he clears his lines. And Brighton have it near the halfway line now with McAllister. Dan Burn, good feet from him. He's got Danny Welbeck free down that left-hand channel, coming inside. He hasn't got the pace to get away from the Chelsea defenders, though. And he hasn't got much support here either, but Danny Welbeck's done well to hold it up for Veltman to join the attack. And then he play it back inside to Bissouma. And then McAllister again, who started it all off. Goes back towards Yves Bissouma. And now Webster. Dan Burn is almost in the penalty area alongside Danny Welbeck at the moment, as Bissouma tries a no-look pass to McAllister. McAllister comes off the flank. Good ball out to the right-hand side for Veltman. Then knocks it back to the edge of the penalty. A shot comes in for Bissouma. Takes a big deflection. It goes over the crossbar. Yves Bissouma set up by Veltman was aiming towards the far post. It ballooned up off the Chelsea deflection and just went over the crossbar. Lovely play again, though, from Brighton. They've looked more productive when they've got into the edge of the penalty area. And Bissouma's effort was probably going wide. The deflection took it closer to goal, though, and it looped up onto the top of the net for this corner. What a way to finish the half it would be for Brighton if they could find a way through. Now it's the first corner of the game, this. It's going to be swung in right-footed by Pascal Gross towards the near post, headed away by Chelsea. Goes back towards Gross, who takes a touch, then goes with back to his right foot for another cross towards the far post, and he's just whipped it too high and too wide of target for a goal kick. Chelsea 0, Brighton 0 into the final 2.5 minutes of the first half. David Moyes is watching on, the West Ham manager. Of course, West Ham face Chelsea very shortly. I mentioned their next few games are very, very big, aren't they? Chelsea, of course, West Ham, I think it's at the weekend, and then the first leg of the Champions League semi-final follow that. As, of course, they'll be playing Real Madrid. As the ball goes out wide to Burn, but he crosses his ball inside. It's picked off by Chelsea. And now it's back with Kepa. And Rudiger into Pulisic's feet. Back now to Alonso. Rudiger again, free possession with Trossard sitting off him. And goes back to Zuma, who finds Christensen. Danny Welbeck's withdrawn, though, to stop his progress. Tactically very sound tonight. Brighton, I think Graham Potter's obviously proven himself to be a very useful Premier League manager over his now 2 seasons in charge. Formerly Swansea and Östersund's boss, who's come with a big reputation. And I don't think anybody at Brighton wants rid of him at the moment. Perhaps they could just do with a bit more squad depth, really. Maybe a bit more of a goal scorer as well. Goal scoring has been an issue for Brighton this season, although Neil Maupay is on the books. Not really got a sort of 15 goals a season guaranteed striker, have they? As Hakim Ziyech is fouled by Webster to give Chelsea a free kick as looking to the final 30 seconds of the first half. And Chelsea play it back now to Zuma, who chips a high ball out towards Reece James. Again, he goes up gamely trying to challenge Dan Burn, but Burn in perfect position to head that one away. In fact, it must have come off the Chelsea player. It's going to be a Brighton throw. And this might be the last action of the first half. The referee isn't going to add on too much stoppage time. Dan Burn doing his shoelaces up there as well, just to try and waste a few more seconds. Now he's ready to pick the ball up. Referee has not signalled an amount of stoppage time to be added on. He has. It's 1 minute. 1 minute minimum, of course. As the ball's thrown in by Burn. Headed back by James. Cushioned down by Bissouma. Falls nicely to Welbeck, who knocks it inside. There could be a chance here for Gross to pass it out towards Veltman. That'll be the obvious ball. He instead knocks it back inside to Bissouma. Bissouma, surrounded by blue shirts, can't advance it, but he manages to keep possession with the Seagulls. White goes back to his goalkeeper, and there's a player down for Chelsea on the far side. Hakim Ziyech holding his head. Didn't see the incident which led to that, but this might be it for the first half here, because I don't think they'll see much play after this stoppage. Accidental arm to the face. So Bissouma it was who was accidentally put his arm to the face of Ziyech, and there's nothing in that. There's no reason for the game to be stopped here. The players are taking drinks anyway, but it is essentially going to be half-time any moment. Ziyech still down receiving treatment. The referee can't blow his whistle, of course, until Ziyech gets back to his feet, but we are just it's just wasting everyone's time. He might as well blow the whistle and the players go off for half-time. He can receive his treatment then. Chelsea 0, Brighton 0. Just to reprise how the first half's gone. It's been, I think, a tactical first half in which Graham Potter's side have more than matched Chelsea in terms of most of the shots on goal, corners. They've had more corners, fouls about the same. Chelsea's best 2 efforts. Havertz's effort saved by Sanchez, and then a long ranger from Zuma straight at the keeper. At the other end, a deflected Basuma effort went onto the top of the net. The referee still hasn't blown his whistle, but he will do any second now as Ziyech gets back to his feet. As it stands, Brighton will move. Well, they'll move 1 point clear of Burnley, but they were ahead of them in the table anyway on goal difference. A draw would take them 1 point clear of Burnley. A win would take them above Newcastle and Southampton to 36 points. Referee restarts the game and he allows Ziyech to come back on. And then it's sent forward again into the channel for Havertz, but he's not done much of a centre-forward's job tonight, Kai Havertz. He's really looked to fish out of water in that position, and Brighton have had no problem at all in dealing with any threat from him, apart from when they presented the ball to him themselves through Ben White, which he still couldn't accept the opportunity. So Chelsea have it now out the back. Played across to Rudiger, who's surrounded by two yellow shirts. That's Brighton's change colours they're wearing tonight. Now Zuma, who's got gloves on, plays it to Christensen. And now Jorginho. Out to Rudiger again. He stops and goes and then plays it down the line to Alonso. First time pass into Pulisic, but he's got two players around him again. One of them's White, who stuck to him like glue. The other one was Gross. They get it back to the right now to Chelsea. Christensen. Poor ball, intercepted by Webster. It was too strong for Ziyech. Bissouma chips one over the top. Welbeck had held his run, and it goes straight through to Kepa Arrizabalaga, who's not had to make a save as yet. Brighton have had one shot on target. I think it was it was Trossard's effort, wasn't it? That was straight at him. So I guess he has had to make a save, a routine save, Kepa. And he used his feet this time to get the ball back to Rudiger. Now Mount coming very deep, plays it into the feet of Pulisic, gets it back to Mount. But they won't mind Mason Mount operating on the edge of his own penalty area, Brighton. They want him there, not near their own penalty area, and it's worked so far. He has been very much a bystander in this game, if you like, more than he has been recently. Good skill from Trossard, gets away from slipping Jorginho, back onto his right foot and plays it back into his own half, his team's own half, for Lewis Dunk. Tactically, it's been a triumph for Potter this so far. I think Tuchel hasn't been able to get a tune out of his side or found a way to break through, find a weakness in this Brighton system just yet. Maybe they will as the match wears on. Now Trossard's come into a central area to find a bit of space, and he plays it wide. Pass was a bit short, and Reece James got a foot in before Byrne got there, and he concedes a throw-in. So Byrne takes a throw-in back to Webster. Goes back to Sanchez. Sanchez pings the ball out to the left-hand side. Byrne is after it, but Reece James tucks it back to his goalkeeper with a nice backward header. Or a nice cushioned header. Now Zuma plays the ball forward towards Pulisic on the halfway line. Nice layoff to Mount. Mount stumbles initially, but then gets back and plays it up towards Havertz in the centre-forward position. He bounces off one would-be tackler and works it wide to the right. That's about the best bit of play he's done so far, Kai Havertz. Now Ziyech, crossing chance over on the right, but he goes back inside to Jorginho. He over-elaborates and has to go backwards. And it's ponderous from Chelsea, this. 5 minutes gone, second half. No change to the half-time scoreline of 0-0. Still with Chelsea. Inside the Brighton half, James. Back to Zuma. Zuma finding Havertz. First time layoff to James, who was very central, and chipped over the top looking for Ziyech, who's trying to fill the space. It's good skill from Ziyech to get past the defender into the penalty area, setting up a chance here. It's a shot that's blocked by Dunk, and Webster recovers. I think it was Webster who was beaten by that good bit of skill from Ziyech, but his teammates held firm for him. Now Christensen looking to advance down the right. His pass was picked off briefly by Trossard. It goes back to Jorginho, and then Zuma goes back to his goalkeeper. And Brighton's very disciplined formation and defensive setup is certainly still causing Chelsea problems. Christensen goes inside to Zuma. He makes a forward pass, attempted to break the lines, but Pulisic couldn't gather it. It's passed back by White to Sanchez now. His pass out to the left here. Again, loose touch from Webster. Knocks it inside to McAllister, who's tripped there, I think. That's going to be a free kick to Brighton. It was Ziyech who tripped the Seagulls player. Long ball forward, sent in the direction of Byrne. Is headed back by Zuma to Kepa. One thing noticeable from the opening exchange of the second half is how much further on Dan Byrne has pushed. And that's going to be an interesting battle, with Reece James looking to exploit the space in behind him when he does go on those forward runs. It's out towards James now, but Byrne wins the header, tries to knock it forward. It's then cleared by Christensen. Flick back to Byrne, who knocks it forward in the direction of Trossard. He's trying to back in. Byrne beats James to the next ball, though, and although he couldn't control it and knock it back to a teammate, it goes behind for a goal kick. That definitely looks to be a new battleground in the match in terms of the tactics. The Byrne versus Reece James battle on this side nearest the two coaches now in the technical areas. Short goal kick taken by Kepa and returned to him by Jorginho, and then he plays it out towards midfield. Pulisic beaten in the air easily there by White, and now sent back to Veltman. Veltman's ball down the line looking for Danny Welbeck, but the back pass from Rudiger is a good one to Kepa, and then Rudiger again down the line to Alonso. Alonso passes inside back to his goalkeeper once more. A lot of these passes look like they're passes for passing's sake by Chelsea at the moment. There's no real intent to break open anything. There's just short passes into the nearest man, really, without breaking lines. Havertz has come deep now, and then he skews his ball out towards the left-hand side that goes straight into the stands, and it kind of sums up his night, really. And Chelsea's night as well. It's been off-key. Nothing like the performance they put in at Wembley at the weekend. I mean, hard to roll out those kind of displays back to back when you've arguably beaten the team, the best team in the country there, deservedly so as well, in the FA Cup semi-final. To try and back that up a few days later, not easy, but they really haven't looked anything like even their average selves in this game. There's a good run from Christensen though, as he moves it forward, finds Ziyech in the hole, then played wider right to the man in space, James. His cross is blocked by Byrne, and it goes out for a throw-in by the corner flag. James takes and gets back from Havertz, moves it inside now to Jorginho, and then Christensen back to Zuma. Rudiger is the man in space. I mean, maybe Thomas Tuchel could take off a centre-back. He's got three out there, and they look a little bit under-deployed, really, with only one Brighton striker. The ball bounces the way of Havertz. Dwelt on the ball. Bissouma picks his pocket, knocks it back to Sanchez, and the goalkeeper clears. I think taking a centre-back would be the obvious tactical move for Thomas Tuchel to try and improve his side's grip on this game, or certainly give them more of a penetration in the game. Maybe he needs to bring on Timo Werner or something like that. Anyway, the ball is cleared back into Chelsea territory. What's the referee blown up for here? It may well be that there's an offside. There is an offside, Chelsea player offside. And it's going to be a free kick to Brighton, just outside the penalty area. Now Sanchez, and then Webster. Webster drives forward, plays a right-footed pass which Dan Byrne was coming back for, and it went beyond him and goes out for a Chelsea throw now. Well, 10 minutes gone in the second half and no change to the scoreline or indeed the pattern of the game, which has been dull so far, as Jorginho's fouled in his own half by Dan Byrne. The referee did book two Chelsea players in the first half. Jorginho was one of them. But no Brighton players, to my mind, in the notepad of Stuart Atwell, who hasn't really whistled too much in the second half. But again, there's been little action really to make any note of. Reece James now tries to come away from Dan Byrne's attentions and plays it back to Zuma. He's like the free man at the back, really, and he can carry it forward and plays it now to Havertz, who makes a nice turn in the centre circle and bursts off towards the right. Havertz has got Ziyech outside him, that's where it goes. The Moroccan plays it back to Havertz. Havertz inside the penalty area, but blocked off by good defending from Webster, who wins the goal kick. In fact, it was Dunk who was too strong for the German there. Good defending from Lewis Dunk. Manchester City have confirmed that they formally enacted the procedures to withdraw from the European Super League. So that's the first formal withdrawal. We understand Chelsea are joining them. So the original 12 may be down to 10 by the end of the day, and there's other resignations expected in boardrooms of those maybe remaining 10, with Manchester United Executive Vice Chairman Ed Woodward apparently resigning. Won back by Brighton in midfield. Played up towards Welbeck. Poor layoff looking for Trossard, and it's back to Kepa, who clears. Dan Burn wins the header though, and it finds Trossard out on the left. Comes in with his right foot and then knocks it back to Webster. Here's Gross. Good ball into space over on the right now with Ben White, and he's got pace as well, and he tries to advance this himself, opening up some gaps on the right, puts a cross in towards the far post. He's overcooked it. Crossing perhaps is not his best forte, and it was well behind for a Chelsea goal kick now. Brighton are getting a substitute ready though, so maybe they're going to make the first tactical change. Looks like Adam Lallana could be the man to come on, as the ball's passed back to Kepa once more and cleared by him. Going nowhere though, Chelsea at the moment, with these short passes, and then it's knocked in towards Pulisic's feet. Fed wide to the left for Alonso, back to the American. Now the pass is finding feet here for Chelsea, but Ziyech couldn't squeeze it out towards James, who crept up on the right. Trossard has it. Knocks it back to Burn. Burn looks forward, chips one over the top. He doesn't beat James' defensive positioning. And then he's played back by Christensen all the way to Zuma. Played 58 minutes of this Premier League contest. It's been fairly dull so far, to be honest. Chelsea nil, Brighton Hove Albion nil. The stakes are pretty high for Chelsea. They can go third with a win. The point they're getting at the moment only good enough to take them above West Ham into fourth, and they would still be leaving themselves open to the likes of Liverpool and West Ham themselves, who they play at the weekend, to come back above them. West Ham manager David Moyes watching on from the stands as Chelsea labour in midfield now and have it with Mount, who gets a bit of space for the first time and now starts to charge towards the edge of the Brighton box. Tries to play it through. Good defending though from Dunk, shielding the ball from Pulisic, and it's back in the hands of Sanchez. Pulisic is down here and he's in some pain as Dunk just shepherded him away and allowed Sanchez a free path to the ball. He's gone down and hurt his arm, I think, Christian Pulisic. This is not what Chelsea wanted here. Mount, good run through the middle. Well-timed run from Pulisic as well. But as he was shepherded off the ball, I think he stood on his arm accidentally, the Brighton man. And that's a painful one for Christian Pulisic. Will he be able to carry on? Camera's focusing on Ben White. I think he was the covering defender. So while Dunk was shepherding the ball, maybe White was the one that accidentally trod on Pulisic. Anyway, we've seen a change here. I mentioned Lallana was about to come on. He is on now, Adam Lallana, and he's on for Leandro Trossard, who's been fairly ineffectual throughout 60 minutes of football tonight. Pulisic is going to be okay to carry on. He's received some treatment on the pitch though, so he'll have to go off momentarily. Takes a few sips of electrolyte before coming back on. And now both teams back to the full complement as Brighton just play it around at the back. Dunk finding Webster. Down the line to... that's a bad foul there by Christensen. He's taken out one of the Brighton midfielders there, and the referee might be about to enter another Chelsea name in his notepad. He's got 2 Chelsea players booked already, or he has booked 2 players already. This one avoids it, Christensen. More than an hour played, and it's still goalless as Brighton try and spring the Chelsea defence again, but Kepa quickly off his line to gather, and the danger is averted. Chelsea knock it back to Rudiger. He goes long towards Havertz, who's getting no joy at all out of any of the Brighton defenders. Given away though by the Seagulls. Alonso picks it up. Pulisic on the turn, gets away from Bissouma, tries to thread it through, but again, good reading of the game there by Webster, who stabs it back to Bissouma. All very muddled in the centre of the park. It's a good ball though from Bissouma out to the right now, and Welbeck had found some space. Welbeck waits for the support of Veltman outside him. He gets a good shout from his wing back. Back to Welbeck it goes. Bissouma is in fact tries to flick it on towards a substitute Lallana, but it's not controlled, and it goes through for a goal kick. Lallana made a good run there off. It was Gross's ball, but he couldn't control it. A few signs that Brighton are starting to wake up a little bit though as an attacking force. Chelsea yet to really click for me. As the ball's cleared by Christensen up towards Havertz. He knocks it down the line and finds Ziyech, who's tightly marshalled there. Good challenge from Webster, and then another tackle from Christensen this time knocks it out for a throw-in to Brighton. I think we are going to see Timo Werner now. It was the obvious looking change for me for Thomas Tuchel, and he's going to come on very shortly. Werner, I'd imagine it has to be for one of those three centre-backs, as the ball is thrown in down the left-hand side towards Welbeck, who's holding it up, trying to feed it inside. Does get it out towards McAllister. His pass doesn't find Byrne, and that should be a Chelsea throw now. This is the time for the change, I think. No, he's still receiving his instructions. Callum Hudson-Odoi is also about to come on, so it's going to be a double switch for Thomas Tuchel. So Hudson-Odoi and Werner about to come on for Chelsea. As the ball's cleared by the Blues, up towards, out towards Zuma, who's now in bags, Rudiger rather, who's in bags of space and carries it forward. Works it to the left for Alonso. Only two in the box to aim for. The cross goes in. It's over Havertz's head and cleared away at the back post. Flicked on by Brighton. Comes back to Rudiger, who started it all off. He goes back towards Alonso. Rudiger again. Square ball in midfield to Christensen. And then Zuma, who's the back man of everyone, apart from the goalkeeper Kepa, the only man behind him. Zuma wanders forward and then plays a square ball back to Rudiger, and Christensen again, finding Ziyech, laid off quickly there by Jorginho to Ziyech again. Ziyech now to Mount, who's had a quiet game so far. 63 minutes gone, I hardly mentioned Mason Mount's name. He might get involved here, trying to make a run off Alonso, but the ball never came to him. It's now with Pulisic, tight on the touchline, left-hand side. Mount swapping passes with the American and goes back to Rudiger now. Zuma. Chelsea are going to make a double change, I'm sure, the next time the ball goes out. It's out to the right here for Reece James, and then back to Zuma. Probing and passing and going nowhere again, this Chelsea move. And again, it's a loose ball that almost breaks it up as Welbeck steals possession and knocks it inside. McAllister goes back to Byrne. Byrne then back to Webster. Webster looking at his goalkeeper, finds Sanchez, who's not really had anything to do in the second half so far. We've played almost 20 minutes of it. Brighton bring it out from the back now with Webster. And Gross. Webster again crosses the halfway line. Plays it out to the left here for Byrne. Loose touch from him, but it does break the way of Welbeck. And now Gross again. Gross onto his right foot, bending the ball out to a man on the far side, which is Veltman. He knocks it into Lallana, looking to overload that side now, Brighton. But Chelsea have got bodies there too. Lallana shields the ball and knocks it back to the supporting White, and he has to go all the way back into his own half for dunk, and then Lallana again. There's a nice balance to this Brighton side at the moment. Lallana coming on for Trossard has given them perhaps a bit more flexibility in midfield. McAllister's still been a little bit quiet for me tonight, but we know he can open things up with one pass. As Brighton continue to have possession, Chelsea have now dropped off without really pressing for the first time in the game. Sanchez pings it out towards Webster. Good first touch, and then turns inside, knocks it up towards Gross and gets it back himself here. Webster plays a better ball. Well, it looked a better ball and it left his foot, but Welbeck didn't read it. And so it's back now to Rudiger. Chelsea passing it around. Mount back to Rudiger. Back into Brighton territory. Mount again. Finding Zuma. It has become very tactical, this match, and you just wonder who's going to blink first. Obviously, you've seen one change made by Potter. Tuchel's going to show his hand very shortly with that double switch we expect. And two forward players coming on in a winger and a striker. Given away by McAllister. He's got to watch his back because a few more of those and Potter will haul him off. It's played up towards Ziyech now in the centre forward position. Offside. Ziyech shrugs his shoulders, shakes his head. And here are the changes. Thomas Tuchel is going to bring on Hudson-Odoi and Werner. And the players coming off, well, it looks like it could be Alonso here, the first of them. Yep, so I presume that's going to be a winger on for a wing back. Rudiger might have to play left back now. Have to go to a flat back four. And Kai Havertz is going to come off and be replaced by Timo Werner. That was a fairly obvious one. I thought he'd take off a centre back, but he's taken off a full back, or taken off a wing back, and he's going to go to a flat back four here, presumably with Rudiger as the left back. I think that's what they'll do. I know Reece James has gone to left back. Yeah, so it's going to be James over on the left, then Rudiger and Christensen in the middle, and Hudson-Odoi on the right as Dan Burn is now up against him. That's going to be an interesting battle. I think Zuma's going to play alongside Rudiger, so it's probably going to be Christensen at right back. Anyway, Brighton have got the chance on the edge of the box here to do something. Bissouma wants a free kick. The referee is going to give the free kick for a foul by Mason Mount. This is in shooting range now. Central, 25 yards out, looking good for Brighton now. As Bissouma got it, rolled Mason Mount, who was trying to drag him back, and then he clipped his heels as well. The referee spotted it, issued the free kick, and this is very central. So is Mason Mount's foul going to lead to a goal in this game? It's more than 25 yards out. I've got to say, I think the foul was a little bit further on than this, but the referee's pulled it back to about 28 yards out. So it's going to be right at the range of someone like Bissouma's strike range, if you like. 68 minutes gone, though. And he looks like he's going to line up a shot here, Yves Bissouma. A pile driver. There's a three-man wall and one man stood off it, ready to charge as well. Referee gets ready. Bissouma addresses the ball, smacks it powerfully, takes a deflection and goes behind for a corner. Came off the wall, which stood firm. I think it came off Timo Werner. That's his first touch since coming on as a sub. So it's a Brighton corner with a quarter of the match to go, still goalless. And still, I can only remember one save that Kepa's had to make all game, and it was routine, absolutely bog-standard save that most goalkeepers in the world would make. Brighton have a corner, though, from the left. It's going to be swung in right-footed towards the near post and headed up in the air by Chelsea and away by Chelsea. Drops on the edge of the box. Lallana can't get it. Bissouma knocks it back towards the corner taker Gross, who can't bring it down. And Callum Hudson-Odoi lets it run for a throw, which is going to allow Andreas Christensen to take. There is still one sub left for Thomas Tuchel, and Olivier Giroud would be the obvious one there. The camera's focusing on the Frenchman now, watching on from the sidelines. Bit of a super sub, isn't he now? Chelsea Giroud. Such situations as this. Christensen plays a nice ball in behind. Werner has got the pace to get to this one. In fact, it's Ziyech who puts a cross in. Poor cross from Ziyech. Straight at Sanchez. 20 minutes to go. 0-0. Chelsea need to wind things up a little bit. More tempo to the passing. More forward passes and take a few risks. Obviously, they've got more forward players on the pitch now, so that's going to be natural for them to take more risks. Long pump forward from Sanchez over the head of Welbeck. It's collected by Christensen, and he knocks it back to Rudiger. And now James, the left back now. Down the line it goes to Pulisic, who's had a quiet evening. like so many in blue have really, forward players. Is Rudiger. James again. Down the line to Pulisic. Once more Reece James. Ooh, that's a bit short there for Rudiger, almost inviting a challenge from McAllister, but he couldn't quite get there. And it's played back to Kepa. Zuma now. Forward pass in towards Ziyech. Flick on only reaches Burn. Here come Brighton again with Bissouma, who's dominating the midfield now. Lines up a shot, strikes from distance, but it's way off target, this one. And wide of target. Bissouma, though, certainly enjoying himself in that midfield area. And as the ball was passed to him, he had one thought, really. That was to go for glory, go for a dipping 25-yard strike. Trying to find his range, Bissouma. You know, he can hit the back of the net from that kind of distance. Not so far today. As Chelsea bring it out from the back again. Christensen to Jorginho. Now Rudiger. Zuma. Over to Christensen. It's all a bit sort of stop-start. It's all a bit static really for Chelsea at the moment. Well, midway through the second half at Stamford Bridge, it's still Chelsea 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Brighton do look on a par with Chelsea, and to try and sort all that out, Thomas Tuchel has sent on a couple of attacking substitutions. Callum Hudson-Odoi and Timo Werner. Kai Havertz was withdrawn. He was trying to play a sort of centre-forward role tonight, but he looked a fish out of water. And he's also taken off Marcos Alonso and shuffled his back line around, gone to a back four now with Reece James switching from right wing back to left back. But Brighton have really had the only sighters of goal in the second half, both from distance. Yves Bissouma from a free kick and from an open play. Way off target, to be honest. It remains Chelsea 0, Brighton 0. Disappointing game. Just been a yellow card shown to Ben White for a foul on Mason Mount. I don't think he can have too many complaints, Ben White. It wasn't his first foul, put it that way. And he did catch Mason Mount, who went down. We're going to see another Brighton change here, I think. Yeah, it's McAllister going off. He's not had a great game, has he, Alexi McAllister? So he's going to be replaced shortly. And coming on for McAllister is Neal Maupay. So they're going with two strikers now. Brighton to try and force the issue. Well, Werner almost getting the loose ball there on the edge of the penalty area, but it's cleared away by White. Headed away by Webster onto the chest of Bissouma, who shows great balance in fending off a Chelsea player. Now Dunk takes over, plays it wide to Lallana. He goes back into his own half and then finds a long ball forward into the channel, which is over the head of the waiting Maupay. It was Veltman's pass. Chelsea have it again with less than 20 minutes to go now. They try down the left-hand side again, but Veltman getting no change at all from either... Sorry, Pulisic getting no change at all from either Veltman or White. A long ball finds Werner. He knocks it inside to Ziyech. Ziyech almost returning it back to Werner, but a timely challenge by Dunk. Then he finds Welbeck. There was an offside anyway in the middle of all that. Probably the offside was against Werner before it all started, so all the play after that was never going to count. Yeah, it's been very anemic performances from Chelsea, really. But Brighton, I think, tactically have had the better of them. Graham Potter certainly will feel as though his tactics have paid off to get them to 0-0 at 75 minutes. Olivier Giroud is going to be the last throw of the dice for Tuchel, who's going to bring him on now with 15 minutes to go. Final substitution then for Chelsea coming up, but not at this break in play, because the throw-in's about to be taken by Chelsea. and Christensen. Ball back to him is a little bit short there. Bissouma's gone through and challenged him, and Bissouma might be due a yellow card here for that challenge on Anders Christensen. The referee comes across. He's going to check if Bissouma was looking at Christensen as if he was play acting there. I think there was a bit of contact. It wasn't heavy contact, but there was some contact, and maybe Bissouma did catch him on the top of his foot, which can be painful. Bissouma was sort of standing over Christensen there, making some kind of almost aggressive gesture towards him, which the referee didn't like, but he hasn't booked Yves Bissouma. Now, the change made by Thomas Tuchel, I said he was going to bring on Olivier Giroud. He's taken off Hakim Ziyech, so it's now got two central strikers on the pitch for the first time in the game, in Ziyech and Werner. Started the game with none, really, but Havertz was trying to play in a role central. Ball played over the top by Lallana. It might reach Mopai, but a header in by Zouma gets it away, and it's hooked clear by Christensen. Brighton win the next header. It might drop towards Lallana, but it's actually gathered by Rudiger now. And then James plays it out to Pulisic. Reece James again back to Rudiger, and Brighton's pressure has forced him back, and they might have won the ball back there. Brighton have stolen it back from Rudiger. Mistake there from Rudiger. Neil Mopai shoots and misses the best chance of the game. It was Lallana, actually. I thought it was Mopai, but the pressure on Rudiger almost, well, it did force the error, but Brighton couldn't take it. Mopai won it back. Lallana profited. Should have scored, really, and he's dragged his shot wide of target. With 13 minutes to go, that could have been the game there for Brighton tonight. They've waited, they've sat in, they've got their chance, and Lallana couldn't take it. Now it's time for Chelsea to come forward. Down the right here with Hudson-Odoi up against Byrne. Gets his cross in towards the back post. He's overcooked it, and it goes all the way through to the other side. Werner will retrieve it, though, and stop it going out for a throw-in. Knocks it back to James. And now Jorginho. James' ball back. Finds Rudiger, and then Zouma. Here's Christensen. Out to Hudson-Odoi again. He's going to try and drop his shoulder and go past Byrne. Plays it into the feet of one of his fellow subs and gets it back now. Here's Mount. Laid off by Hudson-Odoi. Jorginho. Giroud, I don't think, has left the penalty area since he came on. He just stood up there, making himself a target. And Chelsea try and get a cross in, but there's nothing coming there. It's actually going to be a Brighton throw, this. We've got about 12 minutes to go. Well, the big story tonight has come away from the football pitch at Stamford Bridge. There were protests outside, about more than 1,000 Chelsea fans protesting against the proposed Super League. And, well, Chelsea were one of the first two clubs to break away. Manchester City had announced their intention to formally withdraw, and Chelsea, it looks like, are going to do the same. And that's two of the original 12 clubs that were going to form the Super League down, and maybe more cracks will appear over the coming days as the throw-in is taken by Veltman down the line over Mopai's head and knocked back to the goalkeeper by Rudiger. Kepa plays it out towards Jorginho. He's lost it now in midfield. Brighton have won it back. Could be a chance here for Danny Welbeck, who goes for goal and curls it off the post, and it comes back towards Welbeck, who drills another shot, and again it's lucky for Chelsea. They got a body back there to block the second effort from Welbeck. Brilliant from the ex-Manchester United star to curl a right-footed shot against the woodwork and then follow up the left-footed shot that was headed towards goal, but the defence managed to survive for Chelsea. They still have an attack here for Brighton as Mopai fires. Oh, good save, Kepa. It was Lallana again, not Mopai, I should say, but the shot was straight at Kepa. They've had 3 or 4 chances now, Brighton, in the last few minutes, and it's all come from the increased energy levels. Danny Welbeck hits the woodwork, the best chance of the game. Brilliant curling effort with Kepa beaten. Kepa's now made 3 pretty good saves, as well as seeing the ball hit the woodwork, and Brighton look the better team now as they come forward again with Bissouma. Back from Lallana. Bissouma 25 yards out, dropping a shoulder, going past Jorginho, trying to link up with Mopai. It breaks the way of Giroud, but he plays it back into midfield. He plays it back into traffic. Jorginho, though, moves it off towards Pulisic now on the right of midfield. Back to Mount. And now Mount again. Back to Christensen. 10 minutes to go. Brighton have had 4 chances in the last 3 minutes. They've hit the woodwork. They forced I think at least 2 saves from Kepa and 1 cleared off the line. So it's been a very, very big push for them to try and win this game now. And a win probably tonight might move them so far clear of Fulham that 10 points is too much to make up over the course of the next 6 games or 5 games. So they could be virtually safe with the win tonight. But it looks like only a draw at the moment. And Chelsea have a throw inside the Brighton half, which they take back towards James. Quick covering there, though. Quick closing down from Lallana. Knocks it out for another Chelsea throw a little bit further back down the line. James is calling for somebody to offer for him. Make a run. He's got one now with Hudson-Odoi. Gets it back to James. And then all the way back to Zuma. Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic have definitely swapped flanks now. As Hudson-Odoi gets it on the left. Tries to take on Lallana. He's got help there from White. Played back towards Werner, corner of the box. Return towards Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi feints to cross. Almost showed too much of that to the defender Veltman, who pushed him away, but it will be at the expense of a throw-in to Chelsea, which Hudson-Odoi has taken. Going to try and work that one-on-one again here. Hudson-Odoi against Veltman, I think. Now it's played inside towards Mount. He's been dispossessed by Bissouma. Danny Welbeck strides away. Plays it back towards Bissouma. He plays a nice pass towards the right-hand side here for Lallana. Up the line to Mopai. Little back flick there back to Lallana. Chipped over the left-hand side here. Oh, if a better touch from Byrne might have got him in. The cross never came because Pulisic got back goal side. Pulisic did a good job defensively and stops Byrne and wins a goal kick. Well, Dan Byrne is an awkward-looking player, and sometimes his first touch can get away from it. Did there a better first touch, and he'd been in for a cross, I'm sure. It wasn't to be for Brighton. As Christensen knocks it square again. It's slow build-up from Chelsea, even though they need this win to get themselves into 3rd place in the Premier League table. They finished 4th in the Premier League last season under Frank Lampard, but there has been obvious improvement this season. Players getting more experienced. Money that's been paid, of course. I mean, Lampard was in charge for half the season anyway. Got them through to the Champions League knockout phases, and Thomas Tuchel's taken them now to the semi-finals of that competition, while getting them still in contention for a top 4 finish. I think Thomas Tuchel would dearly love to finish higher than the 4th that Lampard got the team to last season, though. Even though, like I say, it's only half his job in terms of the league campaign. Brighton try and knock it forward towards Byrne again. He's going to chase hard against Christensen, but he tucks the back pass to Kepa now. 6.5 minutes plus stoppage time in this one. Here are Chelsea again coming forward with Zuma and Jorginho. Into the feet of Giroud. I think it might be his first touch about 6 minutes after coming on there, Olivier Giroud, but he plays it off towards Christensen. He knocks it back now to Zuma. Rudiger waves his arms forward. He wants movement ahead. Giroud came short. He played it square anyway to James, and then Hudson-Odoi. No way forward for him. He has to go back to Reece James. Brighton doing a cracking job here of closing off all the spaces. Can Chelsea find some inspiration? Giroud knocks it back to James. Then tries to go again. Timo Werner spins off his defender. Plays it wide right to Pulisic. Corner of the penalty area onto his left foot. Plays it square. The referee was in the way there. Jorginho couldn't get the ball first time, but he managed to recover. But they've played it backwards again, Chelsea. Just no way through. This Brighton defence is so dogged. Christensen, he's not going to split any defence as he carries it forward. And it goes to James instead. Now Jorginho. He can play a defence-splitting pass, but he goes wide instead to Hudson-Odoi up against Veltman. Tries to take him on, drills a low cross into Giroud. First time shot is wide from the Frenchman. Got into a good position at the near post. That's where he attacks. That's where he does his damage. On this occasion, his first time effort was wide. 5 minutes to full time. Still Chelsea 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Looking at the replay, it wasn't that close there from Olivier Giroud. Maybe 4 yards wide of the near post. But at least he's there as a potential target, more so than Kai Havertz, who perhaps is still learning that forward position he was forced into tonight by he was asked to play tonight by Thomas Tuchel. Brighton are going to make their final change now. Danny Welbeck is coming off, and replacing him is Jakub Moder, the Polish international. Scored against England at Wembley last month in the previous international break. And he's going to try and chase on a flick on here from Dan Burn. Put some pressure on Christensen. The ball comes back to Moder. And he lays it back to Burn. Good skill from Burn. Down to Moder again. And then inside to Gross. Burn. Chipping it forward. Goes over the head of Lallana, and it's cleared by Chelsea now, but picked up by White. Finding Webster on the halfway line. Now Bissouma has a chance to turn. Finds Lallana. Slips it forward towards Moder, who stumbles as he comes to receive the ball, and it gives free possession to Christensen. But Moder at least closes him down and stops the ball from being played forward accurately. Then he challenges Christensen again. Brighton are at Chelsea's throats here. Pulisic was being fouled by Lallana though, and that's going to give them a chance to clear their lines with a free kick. They play it back to Kepa. Just 3 minutes to go in this one now, plus a bit of stoppage time. I'd imagine minimum 3 minutes stoppage time from Mr. Atwell. As it goes back to Zuma, right on halfway, chips it out towards the right, but it's to the left rather. It's headed away by Veltman. As far as Mount, can't remember Mason Mount having a quiet game like this all year really, and that's how good a form he's been on. Werner stumbles through one challenge. Brighton win the next tackle. It comes back to Hudson-Odoi. Maybe a chance here for Mason Mount to do something. Jinking this way and that. Can't use his skill to beat a man inside the penalty area though. Veltman closes ranks. Comes back to James. Square to Christensen. Shooting opportunity here for the Dane. Is he going to go for a shot? No, he plays it wide to Pulisic. Pulisic wants it on his right foot for a cross, straight at Robert Sanchez, who grabs it, clutches it to his chest. And we've got 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go now. Well, it's going to be very much after the Lord Mayor's show for Chelsea tonight, I think, after their FA Cup semi-final heroics. And of course, not mentioned, they play Leicester in the final on May the 15th. Well, it's going to be a disappointing night for them if they don't pick up 3 points here against a team who, let's not forget it, 5th bottom of the Premier League table, but they've, I think, more than matched them. Brighton, to be honest, they've had the better chances in the second half as well. They might get another here as Gross tries to play it through, just closing the door in time there was Christensen, and now he finds Mount. Mount wide to James, who tries to play a little give and go here with Giroud. And goes back to Rudiger, and then Hudson-Odoi. Can't get past Veltman. Covers there from White anyway, he bangs it clear. Played back into Chelsea territory. Kepa's off his line here to gather. And plays it to Zuma, who jogs forward and then squares the ball back to Christensen. No way forward for Chelsea at the moment. Lots of huff and puff and no real end product. James, can he produce something? Finds Jorginho in the centre of the park. Wide to Hudson-Odoi. Down the line to Werner, who's now running the channel. Can the German produce some magic by the corner flag? He's won a corner, I think. He's claiming a corner. And the referee gives goal kick. Werner is imploring the referee that he's got that one wrong, but the referee thinks he's got it right, and it's not going to be reviewed by VAR. That. Just looking at the replay here. Well, I think he might have a case. He might have a case for a corner, but it's not going to change. It's going to be a goal kick, and we are in the last minute. Final minute of 90 forgettable ones at Stamford Bridge tonight on the pitch, but off the pitch all the drama's taken place around the breakup of the Super League, the planned, proposed Super League. The Big 12 clubs that have put their names to it, well, 2 of them are withdrawing, Manchester City and Chelsea. Will the rest follow suit? As Chelsea knock it away. Over the top for Giroud to chase. Headed back though by Dunk safely enough to Sanchez, and he can pick it up. And we're now heading into stoppage time. And we'll see, I would say minimum 3 minutes to be added on here by Mr. Atwell. Kicked up in the air by Sanchez. And it is 3 minutes as the ball drops to Mount. Good skill from Mason Mount. And he tries to play it through, but it's picked up by Dunk. Knocked back by Gross to Webster. Forced down the line hurriedly and out for a Chelsea throw. Taken back to Kepa. He delivers it to Rudiger. Gets it back, the Spanish keeper. Ball is kicked clear and aimed towards Werner, but a good defensive header from Bissouma finds Webster, and he goes back to Sanchez, and his kicking's been good tonight. Robert Sanchez up in the air and over halfway, headed away by Zuma. Mount dispossessed there by a good challenge, well timed by Byrne. Finds Moda. Moda looks inside. He's got Gross up towards Lallana. Nice touch from him. Moda again offers down the left-hand side towards a corner flag. They go here, Brighton. And then back in field towards Gross. Moda. Byrne. Poor pass from him. Chelsea have a chance to knock it away once more. James. That's a good ball from James out towards Hudson-Odoi. He's got space to run into. He's got White coming across. White brings him down, and White could be in trouble here. This could be a red card for Ben White in stoppage time. It's his second yellow, and Ben White might as well carry on towards the dressing room here. Well, I thought he was booked earlier. Maybe he wasn't. I thought Ben White got a yellow card, but I might have been wrong there. So he'll stay on. It was an open field tackle, and one where if you get it right, brilliant. If you don't get it right, you stop the player. Then it's a good foul. No, it was a red card. Yeah, I thought it was his second yellow. So Ben White has been sent off. Yeah, just wasn't great confirmation there by the TV pictures. But I thought White was on a yellow card already when he made that challenge, and he sacrificed himself for the team to try and get a point by making that open field challenge on Hudson-Odoi. Just brought the man down. So Brighton down to 10, but only 1 minute of stoppage time to go, and a Chelsea free kick. Is there a twist in the tail here? Brighton are one defender down defending this free kick, as it's sent in by Jorginho, heading towards goal, and it's straight at Robert Sanchez. It was Giroud's header. He got in the right position to make the header, but he didn't get enough power on the execution there, and that might be it, as Sanchez has the ball in his hands. I think it came off his shoulder, Olivier Giroud. Not the usual clean header from him. Ball pumped downfield by Brighton. Picked up by Byrne. Byrne ambles towards the edge of the penalty area. Oh, it's Moda, actually, who might have a shot here, and he plays it wide right. And then a shot is struck from the edge of the box by Maupay, and it comes off a deflection and goes behind for a Brighton corner, I think. Should be enough time for this Brighton corner. We've played 3 minutes of stoppage time. If Maupay gets the ball himself. And so the last action of the game here could well be a Brighton corner. Their third of the match. Chelsea haven't had any corners. Are they going to risk a few bodies forward to try and win the game here? Yes, they are. The answer is they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow shirts in the box, looking to win the header here from this corner, which is lifted in towards the back post. Headed away by Chelsea, though the referee puts the whistle to his lips. There is no chance of a counter-attack. It's all over at Stamford Bridge. Well, it might be all over for the Super League, but it's finished a very disappointing damp squib in this game. Chelsea 0, Brighton Hove Albion 0.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score,